So this is going over loops and how to use them in detail. So first of all, there are a couple different types of loops. One of them is a while loop. So while loops, and then you can say there are different types of while loops as well. This is the main one that we'll be looking at, since it tends to be what you end up using the most. So let's say that um, you want something to be repeated 10 times. So example, you want to print something 10 times. So first of all, let's comment out that code and say print something. And yes, we could go ahead and copy and paste this 3 times, but that's not really something we want to do. That slows down code a lot. So here's what we can do. We can do while. First of all, we are going to need a variable for this, so let's define one. Let's say count. Right, nice and simple. Set that to 0. You can say while count. Let's not forget the variable. So first of all, a while loop uses while and then brackets, and this is just to say what the loop needs to keep looping. So while count is equal to 0, or we can say while count is bigger than 11, we can say print something. So first of all, what does this all mean? Looks very complicated. This is just saying count is equal to 0, and while count is less than 11, so 0 to 10, print something. And we can use this little compare sign, and you saw me there use a double equal sign. So I was saying while count is equal to 0, loop this. So this is just, there's a difference between the equal sign. Here you can see that there's one equal sign, and that just means that count is equal to 0. You're telling count that it's 0. Okay, you're setting it to 0. Here you're asking Python, is count equal to 0? So this is a define, this is a read. So we define count as 0 here, and we read count to see if it is 0. So that's an important distinction that you'll need later. And here we can just say count is equal to count plus 1. And this is just saying we're defining the count variable as itself plus 1. Now just saying count plus 1 isn't going to work because you're not defining count as anything. So now it's just some variable plus 1, and it's not saying count is equal to that variable plus 1. It's creating an entire new variable. So that's why that doesn't work, and you always define it as itself and then any additional map that you need to do. So if we say save this and run it, save and run, hello, we aren't getting anything. Okay, so while count is bigger than 11, so I used the wrong sign here. You want to say when count is smaller than 11, that makes sense. And here you can see it's printed out something 10 times. All beautiful, all great. So if you want to say have it wait 1 second before moving on to the next loop, we can do something called import, and we can say time. So to reduce lag and to increase functionality, Python doesn't come with all of these additions such as time. So time allows you to wait or call, say what is the time and stuff like that. So that's what import time allows you to do. But if you don't import time, then you can't do any of that. And this is just a library of commands, and importing that tells Python, say, hey, if you don't know what is something I typed is, look over here in the library of time and see if it's there. So it's useful, and there are many community-based libraries for tons of different things, but for right now we just want to wait. So if we say time is and then we can say dot wait, or I think you can just say no, it is time dot time dot sleep. So this is just putting the code to sleep, and this is a float variable, so any number, and it's in seconds, so 1 second. So I'm telling the program to sleep for 1 second every time it runs this loop, and this leads to this, where it's slowly typing out something, and it'll do this 10 times. Beautiful. So that is how to use while loops and how to import time.